Good afternoon once again. Thank you all for coming and welcome to the 2019 Better Together Luncheon. My name is Tommy Hillman and I am a proud board member of the Family Partnership. As we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors for today's event. We've grown to 21 sponsors this year and we're extremely thankful for all their support for today's luncheon. So you'll notice our sponsors on our screen here. I'm involved with the Family Partnership because of our mission to help strengthen families in need, especially those that lack resources to find help on their own. And as many of you know, those economic disparities continue to widen. I believe that to build a strong society and to build a strong community, we need to start by first strengthening our families. This organization has been helping families for over 141 years. And we've made a few name changes along the way. Most recently, in 2010, we became the Family Partnership. Now, when we did this, we put family in the name, and that was an obvious choice. The word partnership, though, was also very intentional. So we all know that no one gets through life on their own. So for our work, that includes partnering with our participants and with other organizations to help families, and of course, with our funders as key partners. So unlike a lot of nonprofits that do great work, but have more of a singular focus, the Family Partnership helps families in a multitude of ways. So that broad work helps to create real change across a lifespan for families. But it also means that to say who we are and what we do concisely is one of our greatest challenges. So that really led us back in 2010 to outline our services in three main areas: counseling, education, and advocacy. To be honest, education is what first drew me into the organization because of my interest in early childhood education. I just believe that if kids, and especially those that need extra help, aren't ready for kindergarten because of circumstances beyond their control, it's just much harder for them to play catch up as they get later in life. But really, all of our programs are so critical. Picking a favorite program is like picking your favorite child. So when I talk about our counseling program, we know access to mental health services is one of the most serious issues that our society is facing today. When I talk about our advocacy work, I'd want to highlight our work with survivors of sex trafficking through the PRIDE program. So PRIDE stands for Promoting Respect, Independence, Dignity, and Equality. We know that escaping that life is really hard. In the last year, we've supported survivors of sex trafficking from as young as age 10 all the way up to age 56. Finally, in addition to helping young kids, the Family Partnership engages and supports parents and caregivers as part of the whole family approach. You'll hear more today about the cutting-edge practices the Family Partnership is pioneering here in our community. So I just want to again say thank you all for attending today's luncheon. I hope you will come away with the understanding that we can and will make our community stronger by supporting the most vulnerable members of our society. And now, I would like to introduce Hope Flanagan. There's Hope. So Hope, and we couldn't make up a better name, right? We didn't make that up. That is actually her name. Hope taught the Ojibwe language for 10 years in our Four Directions Therapeutic Preschool, and now she volunteers there. So the Dakota and Ojibwe Language Immersion Program is a powerful tool for enhancing the social, emotional, and academic development of the Native American children that we serve, and it also reinforces the preservation of these languages. So Hope will provide an Ojibwe blessing before we take a short break for lunch and more conversation. So, turn over to you,
Hope. Hello, all my different kinds of relatives. Nud and Ansikwe Indigo. I'm known by the spirits as Little Wind Woman. Mikanak Nindudame. I'm a turtle, snapping turtle, that's my clan. Talawanda Ishkulanganing in Dunjaba. I'm from the Tonawanda Reservation. I want to mention that I was so thankful to have an opportunity to work with our little ones in the language so they could hear the language that was given to them, that it's in their blood, it's in their being, and that they learn those ways through the language about how the language is a different way of seeing the world. And I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so thankful that I've watched these little ones grow. I saw a mom from my classroom when I first started, and she said, you know, our boy is this tall now, and he remembers you and what he learned. So I'm so thankful for that. Now I'm going to speak in Ojibwe. Miigwich gije manidu miongo manidu niganazid. Miwidi gwejib meg kikina awia wina badabiye gema wabanong, jawanong, Nengabianong, Giwadanong, Mina Waigega Kinawi, Bemadis Jigama, Binja Aya Ake. Giwianamano o Kakena Awia Bemadizidama, Binja Aya. Mina Waige Nibikang, Mewanjiwi Wabandan o Bemadis Jig, we Ayawang, and my Binja Aya in Nibikang, Mina Wai Emma. Miziwe ish baming giwiwama anungu kag minwa ge ga kenawia miziwe ma ish baming. Adapana mawa shinwa au miongo ikidowinan anzam niwe nainaban ga kena o dinawe magana go manungu minawa ga kenawia we ijayan ema anzam giwi nainaman o Abanuji ain't sug, Mewanji we majig, Gemagi, we ayawanama, and Niniwug, Equewug, Ege, Minimuyeg, Ege, Aki Wainziwug, Miigwich, Joanna Mishnam, Gijimani do, Joanna Mishnam, Gijimani do, Joanna Mishnam, Gijimani do, Joanna Mishnam, Gijimani do. So with this talk that I'm giving here, I'm recognizing that we are being surrounded by the caring, unseen ones that are around us. And Manidu Niganazid, the leading spirit, is watching over us and taking care of our families, the little ones that we're watching as they grow, as they get older, as they grow into the older ones, all of our families, that we're being surrounded like a bubble of care and love. Aho, miigwech.
Thank you, Hope. Now I believe lunch is being served, so please enjoy lunch. We'll resume the program shortly. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon again. I hate to interrupt. I know you're just getting your conversations going, but we're going to resume the program now, and we're going to start with a short video presentation. If you can take a look at the screen, we'll play a short video.
We all have a path in life, and though we all face obstacles, some are greater than others.
There are barriers to health, safety, and wellness,
to educational opportunities,
to economic security.
And those barriers contribute to poverty, addiction, violence, and trafficking.
Cycles that affect generation after generation.
For more than 140 years, the Family Partnership
has provided services to help families overcome those obstacles.
We do this by championing a two-generation approach
to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty and trauma,
by preventing and overcoming adverse childhood experiences,
by demonstrating leadership and thought and action,
by building partnerships based on trust.
But what does all of that mean? It means we meet people where they are at.
In their homes, in the communities, and on the streets.
It means that our preschools educate the youngest and most vulnerable members of our community,
providing the support they need to thrive.
It also means that we support and provide educational opportunities for their parents.
It means that we are a safe haven for those seeking to escape violence and trafficking.
And we do this work because we believe that families, no matter what their form, are the foundation of strong communities.
Throughout our history, We have served others with the purpose of clearing the path for family success.
Your support is more vital than ever,
so that our work evolves to serve the most vulnerable in our community.
We are the Family Partnership.
Wasn't that video great? Can you believe I get to work with these people every day? They're really amazing. I'm Molly Greenman, and I'm President and CEO of the Family Partnership. And I'm delighted to welcome you to our annual lunch, Better Together. Whether you're here for the first time or are a returning guest, thank you for spending part of your day with us. Now, you'll notice this year a variety of ribbon colors on your name tags. And I'd like to thank some people, our current and former board members, they're in a different order, our sponsors who help underwrite the event, our table hosts, and our Rotary partners, and last but not least, our Champion Society members who provide significant multi-year financial support. Thank you all. I'd also like to welcome a number of our partners from the public sector, both elected and staff leaders, along with many friends from the foundation world and colleagues from other community-based organizations that do the work with us. Your partnership is vital. Through counseling, education, and advocacy, the Family Partnership helps clear the path for family success. Today, we are in the middle of a powerful transformation to fully integrate a two-generation approach across our organization. A two-generation approach basically embraces the whole family, however they define themselves, and addresses all the things a family needs to prosper. So why is this important? Because we know that poverty and trauma are far too often passed from one generation to the next. And the Family Partnership is pioneering new approaches to help both parents and kids using brain science. Last year, I told you many of our families have had adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. ACEs create toxic stress and interfere with healthy brain development. The Family Partnership is now piloting a unique curriculum to boost executive functioning in children and their parents. Executive functioning is essentially the brain's air traffic control system. It helps us focus on goals and tasks and to inhibit impulsive behavior. Our approach buffers children from toxic stress and improves executive functioning. That means, for example, in kindergarten, a kid takes turns instead of shoving, or uses words instead of fists. The curriculum also boosts the executive functioning of the child's parents, many of whom themselves have had significant adverse childhood experiences. So let me ask you a question. How many of you in the room can think of a time that you were really angry with your boss? None of my staff are raising their hands. Really angry with your boss, and you really wanted to give him a piece of your mind. Did you hold your tongue? Well, if you did, that shows strong executive functioning. And if you didn't, well, how'd that work for you? Improving parents' executive functioning will help them at work, with their families, their neighbors, and especially in parenting their children. This two-pronged approach that we're taking is the only one of its kind in the country. And while it's easier to build healthy brain architecture when someone is very young, the brain is elastic and can be trained at any age. It just gets harder. But at the Family Partnership, we never give up on families, and we never stop trying to help. The parents we serve want their children to succeed, but poverty and the disparities it creates are hard to escape. The fact is, we all have problems in life, but we don't all have the same resources to overcome them. Of the 17,000 people that the Family Partnership served last year, 93% are living in or are one paycheck away from poverty. And the majority are children under age 5. And while we continue to advocate for policy and systems change to eliminate inequities based on race and income, our programs are having a profound impact on the families we serve today. Now, the topic of mental health is increasingly making headlines. And we all know that good mental health is foundational for well-being and prosperity. But while it's an equal opportunity issue, getting access to and paying for counseling is increasingly difficult. At the Family Partnership, we provide mental health counseling services with diverse therapists that match underserved populations. And we work with children and families in our offices, at Head Start programs, schools, and in homes. Last year, of the children and youth at risk of out-of-home placement or incarceration, 93% stayed in their homes with their families because of our services. Now, I call that a win-win-win. The kid benefits, the family benefits, and the community benefits, with better health outcomes, improved well-being and safety, and reduced costs for government and health care. Last year, the Super Bowl in Minneapolis brought heightened awareness of sex trafficking. In response, our Pride program, along with our partner, the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, doubled our street outreach. We served 377 survivors of sex trafficking in the Phillips, Powderhorn, and near North Minneapolis neighborhoods and at the homeless encampment. We connected these survivors to a variety of resources, including our mental health services and therapeutic preschools. Overall, the use of our Pride program services increased by a whopping 42%. You'll hear more about our education and parent development programs shortly, but I just want to brag a little bit here. 94% of children in our 2 multicultural therapeutic preschools graduated kindergarten ready, compared to only 30% of all Minnesota kids living in poverty. And showing the effectiveness of our 2-generation approach, 94% of their caregivers used improved parenting techniques to promote school success. So we talk about helping families clear the path to success, but what's the roadmap for a family to create sustainable change? Last year, we became the first Minnesota organization to offer the evidence-based coaching model, mobility mentoring. I bet some of you in the room have had life coaches. Mobility mentoring is essentially life coaching for people in poverty to improve their economic and educational mobility. Research shows that families who have access to a mobility mentoring coach for 2 years go on to double their income, save thousands of dollars, and some even purchase homes. Now, here's a real-life example from the Family Partnership. This past January, our mobility mentoring coach, Maria Zavala, began helping Anna, a single mom. Maria first met Anna and her 3 children at a homeless shelter. Anna was depressed and overwhelmed. She had a job offer she could not accept because she had no daycare for her 2-month-old. And she also wanted to continue her education. But most of all, Anna wanted to move her family out of the shelter and into a home. Her older son asked Maria, "Are you going to help get us out of this place? Mom's food is way better, but we can't cook here." So Maria met weekly with Anna to set goals and find resources. First, though, Anna needed to address her depression. And of course, the family partnership could help with that. Then Anna worked to get the baby into a Head Start program. Now she's able to continue her training for a nursing assistant job so she can start working. When Anna found an apartment and the family was getting ready to move, her son thanked Maria for getting them into their new home. Maria told him, "I didn't do this. Your mom did this, and you helped by supporting her." That's the power of a two-generation approach. It shows what people can do, even what they can do when they are given the tools and support to change their lives. Mobility mentoring and our new executive functioning curriculum are just two examples of how the family partnership is using groundbreaking research, innovating to transform the lives of the families in our community, and breaking the intergenerational cycle of poverty. The video we're about to show tells one family's story over several years and through many services. And while the family partnership talks about a two-generation approach, as you will see in this story, our work often impacts multiple generations. Meet the Fitzhughs.
News of Nicole's new baby was a blessing for the Fitzhugh family. But when Camille was born 5 weeks prematurely, at under 5 pounds, she was placed in the hospital neonatal intensive care unit for 2 months. Camille's parents, Darius and Nicole, stayed by her side. At first, Camille was drinking from a bottle, but then stopped. Tests verified she was silently aspirating and needed a feeding tube. Because Nicole has cognitive delays in processing information, she initially kept trying to feed Camille.
There's so many things to work through, because every time something changes with Camille, that's something new that Nicole has to learn.
After leaving the hospital, medical staff referred Nicole and Camille to the family partnership. Just 3 months old, our therapy staff was challenged to develop a way for Camille to be on her tummy with her feeding tube and develop the strength she would need to crawl and use her hands. Today, at 2.5 years old, Camille still receives supplemental feeding at night through her feeding tube. Our therapists are working on her fine motor skills to help Camille eat more varieties of food safely.
Camille has steadily improved since I met her when she was 2 months old to now. She has continued to make progress, transitioning from not being able to even sit up to sitting, crawling, walking. She's feeding herself now with a spoon, and she's really gaining independence.
Camille wasn't talking, so our therapist went to work. Camille's first babble came in our reach group, and now she uses words.
She says ball a lot. She's car, keys, open, more, her name.
As part of our two-generation approach, Nicole learned essential parenting skills in our support groups.
It's really great. I learned a lot, how to be a better mother, like what to do, because she was a preemie, and I needed help with that. They helped me know what to do and how to track her age and her development.
Earlier in the week, we teach different parenting education. So when we have parent-child interaction, we're able to see that the parent is implementing those skills with their child during that interaction time.
When she was ready, the family partnership provided a scholarship for Camille to attend our 4 Directions therapeutic preschool.
I've seen Nicole and Camille grow. We have watched her grow from kind of a withdrawn child to now she's more outgoing. For Nicole, she's learned a lot how to interact with her daughter more and reading with her more and even cooking. The tools that she's acquiring here, I believe will help her to achieve a number of goals that she wants to reach.
I want to be like a wonder mom who is like loving and supportive of her, cheering her on, and just helping her develop to a great person.
For years, Karen and her twin sister Cheryl would walk by the Family Partnership North Minneapolis building and wonder what they did in there. Now, they know.
People need to know about the Family Partnership and what they do, and people need to support the Family Partnership. You want to turn the page?
I'm Valencia Perryman. I've worked for the Family Partnership for 20 years. I am an assistant director of the In-Home Services Program. We are delighted that the Fitzhugh family are here with us today. So please join me in thanking them after they stand to be recognized. First, Camille and her mom, Nicole. They're over here. Yeah. Camille's grandmother, Karen Fitzhugh, and her sister, Cheryl Broussard. Camille's dad, Darius Sherrick. And Camille's grandfather, Randy Sherrick. Thanks again. The family reports that Camille will be off of her feeding tube as soon as she gains a couple more pounds. She does have a favorite food, and you might be kind of surprised. Can you believe she loves broccoli? What kid likes broccoli? Camille and Nicole have been blessed to have strong family support, but that is not the case with many of our families. So that's when we step in and we provide the emotional support and encouragement that they need. Every day I see the barriers that our families face, that they have to overcome in order to meet their basic needs or just to have a stable home. We support families dealing with chemical dependency, mental health issues, a parent leaving an unhealthy relationship. I work with parents who are involved with child protection services. I help provide them with the things that they need, the tools that they need in order to get their children back into the home or to resolve their case. I also work with pregnant mothers by providing them education on parenting, like safe sleep, things like that, and helping them get their things that they need for their children to get prepared for their babies. My job is to help families stay motivated during these difficult times. Sometimes it means just listening to them. They might just be having a bad day and really just need someone to talk to. Many, they don't know their own strengths. So a big part of my job is to give them the hope that they need, that they're able to meet their goals, and help gain the self-confidence and develop the resilience to overcome the obstacles, life's obstacles. What motivates me to do this work is seeing the smallest amount of movement in the right direction, a smile on their face, or just a relief in their eyes. I have seen how our work, it changes lives. So I want to thank you for your support of the Family Partnership. Thank you.
I am Tom Waster, and I'm honored to serve the Family Partnership as chair of the Board of Directors. I'm going to ask for a little bit of audience participation. If your answer is yes, you're going to clap twice. Try it. Okay? If your answer is no, I want you to be absolutely quiet. Are you ready to play? Are you ready to play? Perfect. Thank you. First question. Do you like people? Do you believe that people have the capacity to change and transform for the better? Do you believe the nonprofit organizations have a role to play in helping people to change and transform for the better? Do you want to see nonprofits succeed in this role? Great, me too. Everyone in this room clapped. We are truly better together. The reality is that the financial landscape in which nonprofit organizations live has been dramatically changing in the past few years. Government support is shrinking for most of our vulnerable citizens. For years, United Way was there to fill in the gaps. The family partnership is fortunate. We have always been a strong match to United Way's funding priorities. In fact, if you go back 10 or 15 years, the United Way campaign was our campaign. But we all know of the recent precipitous decline in United Way funding. This is why your contribution today is so important. Individual donors like you, like me, and the ones who are going to support the Family Partnership's vital work to help transform their lives for the better. And you can feel good about investing in the Family Partnership's programs and services because their research-based approaches are proven to help clear the path for family success. Let's look closer at 3 types of transformation. The first one is transformation of condition. I am hungry, and you give me something to eat. My condition has changed. The second is transformation of circumstances. I don't have a job. I get some training, I get some coaching, and all of a sudden, circumstances changed. The third transformation is a transformation in being. I go through your program, and I evolve and transform my being. I transform myself. The Family Partnership continually works on all 3 of these levels. The children in the therapeutic preschool sometimes start the day hungry. We transform their condition with healthy meals and snacks. As you heard in Anna's story, her circumstances are changing thanks to mobility mentoring. And as you heard in the video, Nicole's being has changed. She is on her way to being a rock star mom. That is why you can feel good about investing in the Family Partnership. I am here today to ask you to invest. Invest in helping the most vulnerable members of our community. Invest in an excellent organization. Are you in a position where you can give $1,000 annually or more? Then I ask you to become a champion by committing to multi-year support. If $1,000 is a bit more than you can do, then I ask you to become a monthly donor. There are monthly subscriptions for music, magazines, even monthly subscriptions for wine. Will you consider a monthly subscription for transformation? Or you can start with a donation today. Finally, while I'm not giving tax advice, though I could, I heard it said that if you're a certain age, 70 and a half, directing your IRA distribution to a nonprofit can be financially beneficial. Please look on the back of your pledge form for more details. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Family Partnership's important work, and thank you for making a donation today that is truly transformational. Your table captains will assist you as we hear from the Family Partnership Children's Choir.
The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we will be. For your friends are my friends, your friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. little stars, in the end, all in this together. Once we know, little stars, make us dream and all in this together. Bye. See you. Bye. Goodbye. 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 See you later. Goodbye. 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 See you later. Reason is time. Goodbye. 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 Bye.
Can we have one more round of applause for the awesome children's choir? Way to go. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. So said Nelson Mandela. I am Kit Bream, and I'm honored and privileged to serve the Family Partnership as its Vice President for Advancement. As you heard in Nicole's story, the Family Partnership provides an environment where parents can learn skills they need to cherish and nurture their children, and where children can learn the skills on how to cherish and nurture themselves. Thank you for believing in the potential of each and every individual. So now please, if you haven't done so, please hand in your pledge forms to your table hosts. Table hosts, please remember to turn your forms into staff. And know, as you leave here today, you have made a difference for a child, for a parent, for families, and for your community. Thank you. And we hope to see you next year on Tuesday, May 5th for another Better Together Luncheon.